Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something I'm calling divine dopamine. It's this really cool idea. What if the secret to wrangling our crazy modern minds is actually hidden in ancient wisdom?
So let me just ask you, does this sound familiar? You're trying to focus, but it feels like a constant battle. Your motivation? It's like a light switch that someone else is in charge of. If you're nodding along right now, trust me, you are so not alone.
So, to get a handle on this, we're going to look at two paths that seem, worlds apart, but they're actually aiming for the same thing. On one hand, you've got modern neuroscience, all about brain chemistry and data. And on the other hand, ancient Vedic rituals, totally steeped in spiritual practice. I mean, how on earth could those two connect? Well, that's exactly what we're about to dig into.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about an ancient practice. It's called Sandhyavandanam. Now, I know it sounds a little intimidating, but stick with me. Its whole purpose is actually super simple. Think of it as a powerful reset button for your mind and body.
All right, so what is this thing, really? Sandhyavandanam is a practice done 3 times a day, at sunrise, noon, and sunset. Kind of like hitting pause at these key transition points. It's a mix of chanting mantras, a special kind of breath control called pranayama, and meditation. Yeah, it's a perfect way to describe it, a total system refresh.
And when you do it, there are these 4 key benefits that pop up. First, that breath work, the pranayama. It has a direct line to your nervous system, calming everything down. It's an absolute game changer for focus. Then there's the chanting, the Gayatri Japa. This is all about finding more emotional balance. And just the act of doing it, the discipline of the rhythm, that builds up your mental muscle, your willpower. And finally, you're connecting with nature's clock, right? Sunrise, sunset. That can't help but build a little awe and gratitude.
And get this isn't just some ancient mystical idea. Modern science is actually starting to back this up. There's studies now showing that chanting, especially the Gayatri Mantra, can literally change your brainwaves. It boosts your alpha and theta waves. And why does that matter? Well, those are the brainwaves linked to deep relaxation, creativity. You know that flow state everyone's always chasing? Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so this is where we get to the heart of it. Let's put these two side by side. Ancient Vedic wisdom and cutting-edge neuroscience. Let's see where the magic happens.
I mean, this is the million-dollar question, right? One approach comes from ancient spiritual texts, the other from fMRI machines and lab codes. Seriously, how similar could they really be?
And this is where it gets wild. So you've got neuroscientist Andrew Huberman's protocols for mastering dopamine on one side. On the other, you've got Sandhyavandanam. But just look at the parallels. Huberman talks about breath work. The Vedas have pranayama. Both are all about structured, daily habits. They even both use sound. Huberman talks about using music or silence strategically. The ritual uses sacred chants like Om. It's kind of mind-blowing how aligned they are. The biggest difference is just the lens you're looking through. One is science, the other is spirituality.
All right, that's the theory.
Super interesting, right? But what do we do with it? Let's make this practical. I'm going to walk you through a simple routine that pulls the best from both of these worlds. So here's a simple 3-part daily reset you can try. For your morning, before you even think about grabbing your phone, just try 5 minutes of Gayatri chanting. Let your brain wake up naturally. Then, midday, try working in focused chunks, like 25-minute blocks. And for your reward, instead of more stimulation, try a short divine video or even more chanting, something that calms you down. And finally, evening, put the phone away. No more doom scrolling. Wind down with some reflection, maybe some Om chanting, or just listen to some peaceful flute music. See, it's all about making conscious choices. And here's the key thing to remember. The whole point isn't to force yourself into some brutal, rigid schedule. Not at all. The real goal is to actually retrain your brain. You're teaching it to connect the idea of effort with the feeling of peace. So work leads to a calm reward, not just more stress and burnout.
So, why does any of this matter? Why even compare a scientist's protocol with an ancient ritual? Well, because I think it points to something much, much bigger about what we're all really looking for.
What it really boils down to are 2 different ways of looking at human potential, and they don't have to be in conflict. The dopamine model, that's kind of like a bottom-up approach. You start with your brain chemistry, your behaviors, and you work your way up to feeling better. The Vedic model? That's more top-down. It starts with consciousness, with our connection to the universe, and works its way down. But here's the thing. They're both trying to get us to the same place, a more focused, meaningful, and just better life.
And that just leaves us with this one kind of wild thought to chew on. We live in a world that is completely obsessed with finding the next big life hack, right? But
What if the most powerful, most effective strategies aren't new at all? What if the ultimate life hack is actually ancient? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.